Hey y'all, Deep Snap here, and today I'm going to tell you how I lowered my blood pressure naturally using simple tracking techniques anyone can do at home. Now before I begin this video, I have to say, I'm not a doctor, I probably will never be one. You should talk to your doctors and do not take this video as medical advice. This is simply for entertainment purposes. There's a moment when your doctor tells you you have to go on blood pressure medication. Now there's certainly worse news you can get from your doctor, but it's this moment and a reminder that you're getting older and you're not gonna live forever. So he put me on medication and said, let's check back in 30 days. 30 days later, I came back in and there was no change in my blood pressure, so he put me on a second medication. At that point, I pushed back. He said, well, you already exercise and eat healthy, so the next step is to go on blood pressure medication. And I thought the bar was set a little bit too low because I can always try harder. We can all do better. So I went against his orders and I took zero medication and decided to hack my blood pressure. I had 30 days. The first thing I did is buy a blood pressure cuff, and I'll link to the one I bought in the description below. The idea was to take my blood pressure before and after every single activity throughout the day to find out where my triggers were and see if I could rearrange something to perhaps keep it lower. I'd wake up between 6 or 7 a.m. then I would head straight to the coffee shop to knock out a couple hours of client work, come back for a stand-up meeting, I'd eat, and go into the office, work for the day, try to get a workout in the evening, work some more, and go to bed. Now the very first thing I noticed is that from the time I woke up to the time I got home from the coffee shop, there was a massive spike in blood pressure. I'm talking 20, 25 over 10 to 15. That's a big jump. So I could go from 130 to 155 on that top number, which is a big jump. So the first thing I did is I switched to decaf after the first cup of regular coffee. I go to the coffee shop, felt great when I came home, but there was still about the same size spike in blood pressure just from that single cup of coffee. After a couple days of that, I then switched to full decaf. I came back, I was only up about 5 to 10 points. That was a good first step, but I still thought there was a lot of room for improvement. So I thought, what if I completely reorganized my entire schedule? What kind of results would I have? So here was the new schedule I tried. Wake up, go straight to the gym, come home, I would read or study, have some decaf coffee, eat a nice healthy breakfast, then have my stand-up meeting. I would then go to the office, eat around 2:30, I would come home around 6 or 7 p.m., and then I would try to take the evening off and focus on rest and relationships instead of pushing it into the late hours. And now that I had this data, I was going to report back to my doctor and see what he had to say. He took my blood pressure and it was good. I told him that I had not been taking the medication, I went a natural route. He was a little bit surprised, but gave me his blessing as long as I could keep those readings. But this is not the surprising outcome of all this. One, yes, I was able to go off of medication, but two, my vision corrected itself. I had been wearing glasses for the last 10 years because of a football injury. I had a concussion, it blurred the vision in my left eye, so I've been wearing glasses all day, every day. I noticed that the following months, about the 6 to 8 month mark, my vision completely cleared up. That alone was life-changing for me. I've even talked to some doctors in the neuro field and they said it's quite possible that this is directly related to lowering my blood pressure. I am by no means out of the woods, and I'm gonna have to make sure that I can maintain this discipline for the rest of my life. And there's still a strong possibility I have to go on medication at some point. I'm not against that. I just think we should always try to take a natural approach when we can. If you can live a healthy life without medication, then why not? A couple of general learnings I took from this experiment is that stress is definitely the baseline for all the other triggers. If I can keep my stress down, all the other triggers have a much less impact. Long road trips was something that raised my blood pressure a lot, which is really unfortunate because that's what I do a lot of the time. Cardio had a big help. I could do as simple as 15 minutes of jogging outside or treadmill or whatever, and it would lower my blood pressure. I'd get about a 10 to 15 point dip just by doing that alone. Diet and exercise is something that helps everyone. I simply did tracking to find out where my triggers were. So you just gotta make sure you're paying attention to those things. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please hit the like button, it helps this channel out a lot. And you can subscribe if you would like to see more videos.